Welcome to Oklahoma Memo. My name is Ryan Welton, the curator and founder, or the founder and curator of Oklahoma Memo. It's your daily local news recap newsletter that hits your inbox at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday. And we do podcasts now, and I am happy to be joined by Kimberly Robbins. Kimberly Robbins is the board president of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Association of Realtors, OKCMAR, and we're here today to talk about home insurance. And yes, there are big issues with home insurance. It's been in the news recently. But OKCMAR and realtors in general have ways that they can help homeowners, homebuyers with that process and to get those costs down a little bit. But let's start. Welcome, Kimberly. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Robbins. I am the current president of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Association of Realtors, and I am so delighted to join you on this really tough topic.
So it is a tough topic. And before we do that, you've introduced yourself. Tell me a little bit about OKCMAR. What does OKCMAR do exactly?
The Oklahoma City Metropolitan Association of Realtors really works hard to equip realtors with the knowledge and information and just empower them to do their business every day. We do that by way of classes, community engagement, and a ton of factors that help us equip realtors every day and empower them in their business.
And so OKCMAR mostly serves realtors, and realtors serve both buyers and sellers. Although there's going to be a lot of this information that will impact and inform people who own their homes who have no intention of selling. So this is good information to have, right?
It is just good information to have and just
So what exactly is the situation with home insurance in Oklahoma right now? We've seen it in the news a whole bunch lately. Before we got on, I read a full report from one of my favorite publications, NonDoc, that sort of laid it all out there that Oklahomans are paying way more by percentage than states who have the same types of things that we have, like, tornadoes and wildfires. So, but what are you seeing?
Yeah, I mean, the cost in insurance is about 3 times what the national average is here in Oklahoma. It is something that we have to face head on, and it does impact home buyers and sellers on both sides. I am not an insurance professional, so I can't give real world information about why the rising costs in insurance. But we know here in Oklahoma that, in the past, we've had several tornadoes, fracking, those kind of things that have increased our insurance cost by a lot.
Right, and just for the listeners, listening out there, the basic argument in the state right now is that Insurance Commissioner Glenn Mulready says it's not just weather, it's inflation, to which gubernatorial candidate and current AG Gentner Drummond says, "No, there are profiteering tactics happen." But that's not our discussion, Kimberly, because we have to just deal with the cards that are dealt, right? If I'm a home buyer, if I'm a home seller, what are some things that I can be doing to help keep my costs manageable?
Yeah, I mean, we know what it is. It's shopping. So you're going to have to be equipped to shop around to several different insurance providers, and make sure that you're getting the costs down and coverage. Making them compete with each other is usually the best way to get costs down. But just measuring, how much house you can buy based off of how much insurance you need is really where a realtor can help. And we just kind of help you navigate the price of the house based off of what type of insurance you're gonna have to have, for that house.
As a buyer, am I necessarily looking for the lowest price available, or are there other things? What should I be looking for?
I mean, you should again, I am not a professional in insurance. However, from our perspective, it's the coverage, right? As a real estate professional, you're protecting your highest investment. And so you wanna make sure that if something happened to that investment, you would be able to, recoup from any kind of losses. And that's really what you think about. Am I getting the coverage that is right for the particular investment that I'm purchasing.
If you're a buyer, you're concerned, am I in a floodplain? Am I in an area where there are a lot of cedar trees? Realtors can help home buyers navigate those things because they know their areas really well. Am I right?
That's exactly it. So we'll just help you navigate the types of insurance that you might need based off of the property that you're buying, and just make sure that you're covered in any way, shape, or form. And we will still also have with Oakmar an advocacy leg where we actually advocate for the buyer and seller every day in with our government affairs programs. They also will help in there.
So is Oakmar actively involved in these discussions with regard to home insurance?
Absolutely. We are actively involved with any kind of discussion that affects the consumer every day because what affects consumers also affects our realtors. So, yes, we are in those conversations. We advocate for lower insurance costs. We advocate and talk to all types of, in the political arena, just trying to make sure that we are getting the best value for both our realtors and the consumer as a whole.
And the consumer, I keep framing this in my mind, is both the buyer and the
And the
seller.
seller.
And what do realtors do to help buyers and sellers account for sort of these costs? Because, I mean, if you're a buyer, if you remember like the late 2000s, people would buy houses that were just way more than they could chew. Are there certain strategies that realtors do to help buyers make sure that they account for insurance as part of their ability to purchase?
Yeah. So what you would do is that we are just making sure that they're considering that insurance cost up front in the cost of purchasing their house before making any offer or anything, that they're clearly looking at their budget and making sure that they can pay these costs at the end. Where in earlier times, we would be looking at that late in the end of the day, right? And we don't actually factor that in the cost, and it's also the same for sellers where we're factoring it in that price of the house, making sure that the buyer will be able to purchase their house and have insurance on top of it. So yes, we are helping them navigate on both sides of that.
And it's very interesting because the buyers have certain things that they want. The sellers want to get the most profit out of their house possible. The buyers are looking to get the best value. They're both looking to get the best value, and insurance plays a big role in that. What are some other things that organizations like Oakmar do for buyers and sellers, and how do they differ?
Well, again, we collaborate with state and local policymakers and also insurance professionals. They are our affiliates. We are close with them. And we work with both of them advocating for consumers as a whole and just bringing awareness and exploring any kind of solutions that may be out there. We also do some data driven approaches, some risk mitigation in there, some strategies that can help stabilize and help people make good decisions. And that's what we're in. We're in the, helping navigate through these decisions and make the best possible decision.
Is Oklahoma still a good market to buy in? I mean, is should I be worried about buying a house here in Oklahoma because of the insurance rates?
I mean, Oklahoma is an excellent market to buy in, always has been, and I believe it'll continue to be. I mean, it's still one of the lower markets. You're still getting the best price for housing here, if you compare it to other states our size. So, yes, it is still the time to buy. It's always a good time to buy. The thing is, it's getting a good professional, a real estate professional with you so that you can navigate it, you can mitigate your risk, and you can really buy something that you can have in your family, and build wealth for a long time to come.
And I will tell you, my one experience in home purchasing was in Norman. I bought it low. I sold it at a time when it was actually a really good investment. I wasn't looking to profit. I bought and I sold it, just at the right time. And it was crazy how simple it was with a capable realtor by my side. They took all the pressure off of me. Are there tips? Now, mind you, I knew my realtor before she was a realtor, so I trusted her, and trust is at the heart of any relationship. But if I don't know anybody, if I'm just coming to the state, what am I looking for in a realtor?
You're just looking for someone who stays on top of these type of issues. They're educating themselves daily. They're staying up on what's going on in the marketplace and around them. It is very important for you to interview several people, find someone that you not only love them in their professional aspect, but real estate is a relation building. And like you said, you knew your realtor ahead of time. Knowing somebody really well and building a tight relationship with them, they can help you navigate your highest and most important purchase is very important. And you can always contact Oakmar or anything like that. We have a ton of these professionals that are alongside of us, and we can get you in the seat of someone who can help you.
Kimberly, I want to ask you about something that's near and dear to my heart, which is data. I'm a big believer that you cannot manage what you do not measure. And one of the things that I read about with regard to Oakmar is the fact that you own the MLS here in this area. Tell me about
Mhm.
that, and tell me about the data that you can glean from that to help consumers with regards to their buying, their selling, and their insurance.
That is absolutely correct. Oakmar does own MLSOK, which is a data force here in the metropolitan area, and it's actually a regional data um, company. And we can use that data to help our clients sharp, smarter for policies and insurance coverage that best suits their property. And the value in this is this gives opportunities to the expertise in the area as well. So you're working with the realtor who now knows the market and the conditions of the market, the climates, the risks, and the insurance landscape that makes up your market. And that is the difference.
And how often is that data updated? Is it daily?
It is daily. It is actually immediate data. And that's the thing. Real estate professionals provide us that data. They are every day putting in, home sales and buyers and what's going on with both of those things. And we use that data not only to help our clients and our real estate professionals, but we also use the data to help local policymakers as well find ways to reduce costs and help the consumer in their insurance purchases and purchases in general.
So in that way, Oakmar is an advocate for really all touch points in this cycle: buyer, seller, insurance companies, partners, vendors,
And all
all of it. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome because I think home insurance costs. It's going to be a topic that's big. 2026 is an election season, and people are looking at their costs. They're looking at food costs, they're looking at home insurance costs, auto insurance costs, the gamut. Is there anything that I'm missing? Anything that I should have asked you about this that you want to make sure that folks know about Oakmar and insurance?
I just want to make sure, like, I leave this with you that homeownership is still one of the most powerful ways to build wealth. And today, understanding the full cost of what it means to own a home is more important than ever. And so we just want to make sure that Oklahomans are informed and protected and prepared for the largest purchase that they make. And so Oakmar is here owning our MLS, supporting the realtor, the consumer, the policymaker, and the insurance professional using our data and the information that we draw from realtors to help lower these costs, find solutions, and just move on in a good direction for everyone.
Knowledge is power, and having
It
having a partner with more knowledge. I always look for folks who are smarter than me, and in the case of buying or selling a home, it's always going to be a realtor.
awesome. Awesome.
Kimberly Robbins, president of the Oklahoma City Metropolitan Association of Realtors. Thank you so much for your time.
It was my pleasure.